Do we feel like doing all this for a gem? I don't.
That's fair.
Let's just...
You know, they say, as they say, when the going gets tough, do something else. You know? Great man told me that.
Who was the great man who told you that?
God.
Ah. I thought you were God. Did we ever establish that?
The lore is shaky on that.
The lore's shaky on a lot of stuff. We have a lot of in-Discord lore, honestly. Y'all don't even know, but all we're doing right now... Yeah, let's talk about this. James has been posting this image, as you see on screen now. And he'll just post it, and at Mia, it'd be like, Mia, oh my god, you gotta check this out.
Check it out.
And it's
all
just,
lowercase.
It's just caught on. It's just caught on, and now all we do is post
chaos.
That and check it out. We've even done a bit in the goddamn general chat. Currently, the channel icon on the Discord is just that picture. And
Carter, his name, check it out. His profile picture is that image. Very funny.
It's very funny. I'm enjoying it. It will definitely lose its luster at some point.
It will, but you know, you gotta get the most out of it.
We gotta enjoy it while we have it. So yeah, this level, this like laboratory level or whatever you want to call this, factory, I don't know. It's actually just really good. Like, just genuine quality, very good platforming and puzzle platforming.
Now, so you've played Crash 4, right?
Oh yeah, played the whole thing. Oh, I haven't 100% it, but I've finished the game. Yes.
Yeah. Would you say it's a better story than like this? Well, this one and like Wrath of Cortex and the first three.
Definitely, these two games have a better story than Wrath of Cortex because Wrath of Cortex is like kind of nothing. Crash 4.
Oh yeah, because it's just jumping to levels, right? It's just like going.
The only story that there is in Wrath of Cortex is just crunch, right? Just the I pressed the slide button, but that's on me for believing the game has a good slide in the first place. That's my bad. You know, it's just a fact of life with this game. It does not have that. Can I just... No, okay. I'm surprised I didn't get hurt by that.
I've tried. So I've been having a resurgence of liking platformer games and games like Crash, games like Spyro.
All right.
That I enjoyed as a youth. Like simple. I don't think those are platformers necessarily. Like Jak and Daxter, but just like those simple games that
collectathons is what I'd call Spyro and Jak and Daxter.
Yeah.
Specifically Jak 1 or the edgy sequels.
Specifically Jak 1, I don't know if I would ever be able to go back and play the edgy sequels, because, like, I'm pretty sure, like, Jak 2, specifically, is, like, 90% driving around, because they, like...
It has, like, an open world, right? It's, like, inspired it's directly inspired by Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, like, I feel like they were trying to catch on to that craze, but, like... I don't think I'd be able to go back and play it because I don't think those are very good games, honestly. Let me see like what score they have on like websites. So, well, actually, guess I want you to guess. So IGN has a 10-point scale.
Okay.
What do you think Jak 2 has on the IGN 10-point scale?
So asking what score something has on IGN is a true gamble, right? We all know this.
Right. But just guess. Just throw out a guess.
I'm gonna say 8.
It has a 9.5 out of 10.
Wow. It was the style at the time, to be fair.
It was the style at the time, and it has an 87% on GameSpot. I was expecting it to be hated, honestly.
Nah, man. Style at the time. That's just so real.
Yeah. But I will say, even if it was a 9.5 out of 10 in 2004, 2003, I doubt it holds up very much, because it was the style at the time, but it is not the style now.
No. I mean,
and
I like
Jack
that awkward
3,
teenage phase, kind of. Not specifically like the God of War style, where it's like we're going really far in. I like the literal childish. I'm gonna have my cartoon characters, but they're gonna be really cool and edgy. Speaking of which, go ahead. You first.
Jak 3. What do you think it has on IGN?
How many years later was Jak 3? Okay.
1 year.
10.
9.6 out of 10.
They loved those games, huh?
Yeah. Like, what the fuck? That's crazy.
I mean...
but what were you gonna say?
I found something out very funny about this game. The initial concept for this game was going to be an edgier take on Crash, and it was going to be about space travel and stuff. And then
for
Ratchet...
Twinsanity specifically?
Yeah.
And then Ratchet and Clank
Ratchet and Clank 1 came out, and they said, fuck me, we have to change everything, because it's the exact same game.
Yeah. Honestly, that's probably for the best.
I think that made this game probably...
Because, like, Crash is a goofy bastard.
Yeah, I have a hard time imagining Crash edgy in any way, really.
Yeah, because, like, I think Naughty Dog did a good job at taking Jak from Jak and Daxter, the precursor legacy, the first game, and making him legitimately edgy as fuck in Jak 2. I think they did a good job at that because it was the style at the time. But I don't see how they could pull that off for Crash. I really don't.
Remember he was a silent protagonist in the first game?
I do remember that. It was very strange
for him to suddenly have a voice.
Yeah, to play the first game, because Jak and Daxter: The Precursor Legacy was honestly one of the first games like I played on PS2. So I had a pretty good attachment to it. So when I got Jak 2, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it's gonna be like Jak and Daxter 1.
And it was not.
It wasn't, in pretty much no way whatsoever.
Did you enjoy that fact?
So I loved Grand Theft Auto as a kid, as I've said before. So I did like Jak 2. I want to say back then I liked it more than Jak 1 probably because it was edgier and there were guns and there were cars and motorcycles and hover bikes and shit. But yeah, I want to say back then I did enjoy it more. Because, as a kid, or as a, pretty much a kid, definitely a kid, I mean, like, you want to be edgy. You want to be... Yeah. You want to be cool, so...
Now, people go back to those two games, the edgier ones, and they have good things to say still. But I do just wonder, like, for us, right? I do have to kill all these guys, but...
Rip. Yeah, like... Because I'm very interested in eventually playing through the Ratchet and Clank games again. Because I may have said this before on the channel, but like Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal was the first game I ever finished, ever beat.
Wow.
And so I really like the Ratchet and Clank games. And after I beat that one, I played a few of the other ones. And so I think those are they got kind of edgy, I guess, but they still kept that kind of like childish humor, but also that adult humor.
Yeah, the edginess came in just more adult-esque humor. But like, I wouldn't call the OG Ratchet and Clank games edgy like at all. Like, maybe they have a little edge to them, but they are not edgy.
No, I wouldn't say edgy. They do have the adult humor. Like, I mean, the titles of the games are adult humor in themselves.
My greed, my
It's your downfall.
My greed, my hunger, my lust has literally extended this video's length by like 2 minutes.
I would say considerably more than 2 minutes, but we can go with 2 minutes if you want.
For my sake.
But yeah, I think the Ratchet and Clank games, and also, I never played the Ratchet and Clank games on PS1 or PS4 or the newest one.
Did you say PS1?
I feel like those are. Oh, I mean,
3?
PS3.
Yeah.
3. PS3, PS4, and the newest one.
Apparently those PS3 ones are kind of weird.
I've heard they're weird. But I think I would just need to see it for myself. Honestly.
So, one thing I've seen about them, which I don't know how much this holds true, you know, this could just be nostalgic people talking about something that is slightly different so they don't like it. But apparently, just the way the camera is framed most of the time in Ratchet and Clank is very dry, right? And the only time it's very spectacle-based is when it's doing like the corporate ad stuff, right? Oh my god, you have 2 hits? But because... Sorry, I had to focus on that one. Because the PS3 ones are all HD and shit, and they want to be all beautiful and show off the good graphics. Now the normal cutscenes are in a spectacle way, right? They're spectacular, like a Pixar movie. And just apparently subconsciously you can feel that and be like, well, this feels fake. This feels like corporate bullshit. That's probably just theory crafting by fans, but
yeah.
I think it's an interesting read of it. And even so, like, if the cutscene direction and all that is different, that's a reason to not like them as much, right?
Because I mean, everybody, you know, especially I would say, honestly, that's almost certainly just a thing that people nostalgic for the PS2 games are complaining about. Because like, if you as a kid first played Ratchet and Clank on PS3, I imagine you had a great time, probably, because you wouldn't have any of that. Yeah, that was your first experience with it. So, so I would imagine it's probably a nostalgia speaking thing.
I mean, me personally, like, people who grew up with the Crash games on the PS1 look at Wrath of Cortex and Twinsanity like, yeah, this shit's ass, right? And they're kind of right. I'm not gonna deny them that. If you looked at me and said Crash Twinsanity is better than Crash 2, I'd look at you like you're crazy, right? But I grew up with this, with those 2 games in particular, Wrath of Cortex and... Alright, fair enough. And Twinsanity. And I love them. Twinsanity more, of course. Okay. But yeah, I totally love these games. Both of them. I have a lot of nostalgia for them, and to call either one bad is hyper-exaggerating shit. Like, come on. Okay, that's fine. I don't get this fucking game sometimes, bro.
How did you survive that?
I don't know. Inconsistent, it would seem. Those bits are fun. I wonder what that's for. Probably a gem.
Those are interesting little bridges. A gem, like in the hit game Spyro 1 on PlayStation 1.
Whoa, all our PS1 boys, they sure do love collecting gems. I remember this shit was so interesting and tough to me as a kid.
Yeah, because you didn't understand simple patterns.
Well, no, it's just... I still, in my head...
Not you specifically, but, like, kids in general probably had a tough time with this.
I still, in my head, am kind of singing red, green, blue, yellow. Ignore that.
I'm ignoring it.
But that's just what you do. Red, green, blue, yellow. That's how you get through this.
Right, and Kid Brain is just like, the next one is blue, and I'm gonna try to go to blue, even though it's not there. I know it's not gonna be there, because that's not how the pattern works, but I don't understand that. I haven't learned that yet.
Look at this. This is good little, like, assignments. What? I'm sorry. No! Literally, if I start, you have to talk. You need to monologue right now.
Okay. So, Crash, I've played I bought Crash 4 on, Steam, on PC, and I played a little bit of it. And I remember you saying it is difficult, and I definitely have noticed that. It's pretty tough, especially for me, who's not really necessarily good at video games such as Crash or Spyro.
I can talk again.
Okay.
Yes, go on though. That was interesting.
But I still do want to play it, because it's cool, and I like Crash. I played Wrath of Cortex as a kid, as a little tot, as a child, Rugrat.
I think you'll agree with me here. Just the core premise, gameplay premises of Crash 4 are a hell of a lot smarter and also more basic than the ones of these ones, right, in Twinsanity. Just like this mask pops platforms in and out, and you have control of it. Isn't that great?
For sure.
That is a crazy hitbox. But yeah, Casey watched me play Crash 4, and we had a great time doing it. I still can't believe I tried to 100% that game at first. I mean, I didn't know just how... Okay. I didn't know just how, like, tough that would be at the time. But, boy, like, even the very first levels, I was missing boxes and shit, because they're placed so evilly, right?
I feel like it is... I feel like Crash 4... I'm almost certain that Crash 4 is made for people who played this game, and Crash 1, and Crash 2, and Crash Wrath of Cortex.
For the, what people call veterans of the franchise.
Yes, and, like, to give them shit to do, basically. Because if you make Crash 4, or Spyro 5, or whatever it is, and it's as simple a concept as, like, Spyro 1, or Crash 2, it's gonna be like, well, that was easy as fuck. That was boring. Like, what the fuck is this? But like, if you make it like super difficult to do, that gives people a challenge. So
very funny you were talking about Spyro, by the way.
Personally, I don't care. But I think
why do you say that?
Might want his gems back.
Oh,
That timing was perfect on my end. It was perfect. The video is gonna be... That's a short. That's gonna be a short.